For this week's show and tell, we're going to talk about the top 5 things that are making us feel restless or bring restlessness to us, whatever it may be. Crimson, would you like to start by giving us your first one?
I am feeling restless with lip color, Lori, and this is really important.
Okay.
Never really liked lipstick, and now I'm really into it, and I don't really know what changed, except I love it now. But everything's either too pink, too orange, too brown, too glossy, too matte, and I can't get satisfied. Like, I have probably spent $100 on lip liners this month trying to find something I like.
I mean, finding your perfect lip combo it's a journey.
It's a restless
You know?
task.
It is, but I mean, I think you'll get there. Is it anchored to anything? Are you trying different brands? Are you going with a
Yeah.
certain one color palette? Like, how are we just like manically trying different lip colors, or is there some philosophy
I'm at
behind it?
the manic phase now. I started with like Ulta and like looking at all the kits and trying to match it and was very unsatisfied. And so then I just decided to go rogue and just buy a bunch of stuff and make it work. Then I even made ChatGPT look at my amazing collection and come up with combinations, and that was hilarious. In fact, I should totally capture that.
Yeah, I want to see that. That's some content that I think
Yeah,
we're all
that
waiting
was
for.
interesting what it had recommended. So yeah, I've been trying different people's stuff and I just don't like any of it.
This is where the Dollar Tree is your friend. Go back to the Dollar Tree.
You're
And
right.
then make that content too, because I would have seen. But makeup is, I don't know, makeup's such a journey for me too. I try not to get manic with it because just because somebody else's holy grail is theirs doesn't mean that it's going to be yours. Everybody's chemistry is so different.
Yep.
And honestly, I am still playing around. I don't have that part of my life figured out at all. And I guess maybe that makes me a little bit restless too. I am such a rube for consumerism around makeup, even though I don't
Yeah.
really wear it. So I try and stick it to the Dollar Tree
I mean, it's smart because then
for
you're
my
right. I could go
own
at least find
sanity.
colors. And if I didn't like the product, I would at least have some idea of the color palette.
But you
I
know
might
me,
take
I
that
mean, I
advice.
love my Dollar Tree health and
Oh, yeah.
beauty and skin products. I stand by them. And I would have never started that journey if it wasn't for TikTok. So I get it. It's a process.
Speaking of, I'm about to use this
Yeah.
lip oil, which is not the lip oil we
Yeah.
got at the Dollar Tree. And you know what? It's not as good. It
It's
doesn't
not
feel
the
as
one that
good.
we got at the Dollar Tree?
No, this is an expensive one. This is Elf, but it's still like a name brand. And
Yeah.
it does not feel as good as the lip oil we got at the Dollar Tree. All right, Lori, what's on your list?
I am always restless anytime we are in that last period of like a couple weeks before we're changing systems or routines. So, with the kids going back to school now, and I think about 3.5 weeks, we've entered this portal in between summer and back to school. And I am just kind of somebody that like that wait in between for anything really, but especially things that are going to change the routine. It's like I'm like, let's just do it. Let's just get it done. Let's do it now. Let's not wait any longer, and that makes me really restless.
Well, I mean, that brings me to mine, which is summer. It has made me restless for the same reason, but I think it's the phase that we just entered is what you're talking. Like, there's no more vacations to look forward to. Now it's just hot and restless kids and like a transitional period that's not very rewarding. I'm not enjoying it either. So that's on
Yeah.
my restlessness list too.
Yeah.
What else you got?
So I talked a lot about earlier in the episode, like understanding micro me is feeling so much better, and macro me is kind of like, ugh. And part of what's got macro me so restless is I feel like my psychological safety is very threatened by performative values. And when people say that they're one way and then show up and engage a different way, that gives me all the alarm bells, all the red flags, all the things. And it makes me feel like I just want to get away. I don't want to engage. I just want to get away. And there's some things in my life that I've been able to say, you know what? I don't need it. I don't need that in my life anymore. I don't need to be around that. I think people that have performative values ultimately are unsafe people because they are presenting a version of themselves. But when push comes to shove and it is time for them to engage with said values and they don't, That to me is like, what are we doing here? Especially when it's an individual to individual exchange. On a larger level, I think when institutions say, this is the vision, this is what we're here to do, and they don't show up to do those things, it's hyper concerning. And this is that tension I was talking about earlier between the micro and the macro. And it's interesting because this one is ultimately, I think, me feeling like this is a logical feeling for me to have, of this restlessness of like, I want to move through this. I want to distance myself from this because I'm trying to take care of myself. And so it's not like a bad manifestation of the feeling, it's almost a predictable.
Right.
And so what can I do? Well, in some cases, I can actually make a break. In other cases, I have to learn to accept that this is happening and also keep my eyes open to it. Because again, I think it signifies a lack of safety. So, performative values, I promise, is probably the most serious one on my list, but it really does. It is something that makes me restless to get away, to separate myself from. The other part of this too is when I speak about my restlessness that I had earlier in my life, I think a lot of that restlessness was around this idea that I was showing up the way that I thought I should be showing up, doing the things that I thought I should be doing, and was very performative. And it wasn't leading me where I wanted to go. And so part of this is like I've healed this aspect, or I'm working to heal this aspect in myself. And so when other people or institutions have it, I'm like, oh, like, no, get me away. I am not here for it.
Well, don't you think just disingenuous or unauthentic people are unsettling?
Authenticity is a privilege thing, and a lot of people don't feel like they have the ability to show up authentically in their life. So I want to name the fact that I think sometimes people showing up inauthentically is them trying to keep themselves psychologically safe, or safe in other ways, honestly.
Right.
But I think it's when you espouse that you are a certain
Right.
way, or you have this value, or you're here to do X, Y, and Z, and then you don't do those things. That's when I think we've moved into some type of like nefarious territory, because not only are you not showing up authentically, you're taking the time and the energy to present in a totally different way in order to manipulate the situation.
Yep. That's an unsettling one. I agree with that one.
All
All
right, what do you
right.
got?
If it isn't obvious to people, I am from the great Commonwealth of Kentucky, and it's an
She's
exciting
a Kentucky
time.
colonel, y'all.
I am a Kentucky Colonel, Colonel MacDonald. Our senator's missing, Senator Mitch
Yeah.
McConnell. And I don't know the days. If someone can quote me on it, I don't care. It's like over 40 days. And no one has spoken to him. We get pictures at random. It is no secret that I am friends with the Senate candidate running for the seat. So I know that it's probably a little personal, but I'm very unsettled with two aspects of this. One, the political one of like, I'm not being represented in Senate. Like, it's kind of like a big job. It's kind of a big deal. And he kind of took the summer off without talking to us, proof of his life, like any communications. There's also like the institutional fears, like how can we have government where people just disappear? Especially a giant like Mitch McConnell. I mean, we aren't talking about some junior senator. So there's that part of it. But then there's also the unsettling part of we have a lot of elderly people running our government right now and running our country and running huge institutions. And again, I find it unsettling to have to watch people age in public life and be expected to perform as they did when they were 50, when they're literally 80, 85, 90 years old. So it just becomes pretty exhausting, and I'm getting restless with like inability to move this forward. Like, he's a senator. He is a sitting senator. It should be very easy to get communication from him. And I'm unsettled with it. I'm unsettled with his wife not stepping up. I'm unsettled with his party not stepping up. I'm unsettled with Congressman Andy Barr and Senate candidate Andy Barr for not stepping up. Like, I am completely restless about the circumstances at which we're seeing in the Commonwealth.
Yeah, I'm concerned about it too. And I am also restless to know what is going on.
Something needs to be done to find these people, and I don't know what it is. So it's like this weird, just totally unsettling.
This is one of those macro places where it's like, yeah, like I'm restless to get all of this resolved, and it is so far out of our control.
Yeah, but I have a feeling after the deadline of August 1st or 4th, when they can't call a special, we're going to quickly
August 3rd.
August 3rd, thank you. So August 4th, we will find out what's going on with Senator McConnell. So we just got to hold
Yes,
out
we
till next
will.
week.
I'm restless to find out. I don't know. Just the intrigue of it all.
The
Here we are
intrigue
once
of it all.
again
Yep.
talking about the intrigue. I'm restless for all that drama to be over. Next up for me is when I leave the house, usually for like a business trip or a fun night out or some extended period of time, and I immediately wonder if I left the stove on. This is struggle bus for me,
Wait, the
100%.
stove, or is that metaphoric?
No, I mean, like anything. Like, did I lock the door?
Right, okay,
It
so it's
really, that
metaphoric.
sort of stuff gets my OCD going. And so my immediate response is the compulsion, right? So to go check the door, go check the stove, go whatever. The hair straightener is another one. It makes me very restless and I'll ruminate. And I really like when I'm in those moments, and it happens, I would say routinely, where like my OCD will get triggered and I become very restless and I have to kind of pull it back in, take a deep breath, and sit with that discomfort, because most of the time, at least to date, I have not left the stove on. The house hasn't burned down, thank goodness. Knock on wood.
Yeah. When I was diagnosed with OCD, I always thought it was that because that's what my mom would do. We would be in LA and be like 40 minutes into a 2-hour drive and she would turn around to go check the coffee pot. It was insane. I am so not like that, but I have the same, I get the thought and I'm like impulsive and compulsive and obsessive about it and I ruminate. And that is a very restless feeling. It's awful, regardless of what it's about. All
All right, what do you
right.
got?
My diet. So I really wanted to lose weight. And so I started this intermittent fasting thing. It's working. It hasn't been that painful of an experience, but part of it is I can't eat past a certain time. And I know people talk a lot about food noise, and I've never really related to that. But one thing I know is very unhealthy in my life is that for me, it's not food noise. It's like I've been habituated. It's like you get the kids to bed and then you can eat the goodies and everyone's asleep and I eat my goodies. It's almost like they don't count at night or something. And so I have gotten rid of that and I'm very grateful. Like I don't think about food after 8 o'clock at night. I just don't even, I'm past the point. Like my lifestyle has changed. I feel really proud to be past that. But what I've noticed is after my window for eating has closed, I become restless because I can't eat. I can't like my day is done. I worked, I hung out with my kids, I ate dinner, and now like there's no midnight snack coming. So I get very restless in the evening. And so earlier I said I had not struggled with this feeling really, except that the macro, most of these things I've been talking about are much more macro. And so I've been able to contain it more. But I have noticed that after my window of eating has closed, I do get restless. I'm like, I don't have enough energy to work. I'm burnt. I'm tired. So I don't really want to work. My kids are in bed. I can watch TV, but that's way more fun with food. And so I'm just having to figure out how to solve this restlessness issue that I'm hitting at about 9 o'clock.
Sounds like a nice cup of tea would do you well.
My husband Taylor has gone to having tea. He has tea at night.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I should get on board with it because I don't want to go back to eating at night. And when I've caged, I've regretted it. But no, you're right. Maybe I should jump on board with Taylor and just have tea at night.
Yeah,
Have
it's a nice
to look
ritual,
forward
gives you
to.
something to do and something to consume. And tea has a lot of medicinal factors too. So you could be making your own tea blend of things that are good for your body and good for your skin and your mind. All right. My next one is when you're waiting for your spouse to complete their honey-do list. That makes me restless. Part of why it makes me restless is because I don't really verbalize because I don't want to be a nag, which also makes me restless. It's a vicious cycle, a snake eating its own tail. And so I've had to really practice radical acceptance that it will get done when it gets done, unless it's urgent, which sometimes it is. I
Right.
speak up, but otherwise, yep.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Taylor's always worked so much building his business and stuff. The honey to-do list, I gave up on those so long ago. Because to your point, it was like they would be
That's
a
hilarious to
thing.
hear you say that because he has a very long to-do list for us right now.
That's what I mean.
So I don't think you actually gave up on it. I think you
Oh
just
no, now it's like
modified it.
for profit. Yeah, like if I can monetize it, get on it. But yeah, I gave up on that long ago. I also still have, and I know that they're unhealthy, but like that super independent women streak that you get from good old trauma in your childhood. And so you get like this hyper super independence. And so I also like to do that once in a while. One of the best stories was the wallpaper for my office. That wallpaper. I wanted to do it and I knew my husband didn't have the capacity to take it on. Instead of picking a weekend that he would have the bandwidth to help me with the project, I was like, no, I'll just do it, which resulted in me getting stuck between the wall and the pre-stick wallpaper, and a door opened and jammed me in a corner. Literally that happened. Like I was like a fly stuck on like fly paper, just waiting for someone to come find me. So,
You guys get into some freaky things over there.
I know it's what happens with psychedelic mushroom wallpaper. But yeah, I mean, I gave up on that a long time ago because that restlessness is horrible. And as I just explained, it can also convert for me into hyper, super independence. And then I dig a hole.
Then you don't
Or
ask for help.
I don't ask for help. I'm like, I can do it. I don't need him, whatever.
Yeah.
And I end up like this between a door and wallpaper. It's great.
All right, what's next up for
So my
you?
last one, I can't tell anyone what it is because we aren't ready to announce it, but it's our big project coming out from the emotional endurance movement.
Yeah.
Restless. I want to tell people. I want to build it. I want to take it out on the road. Like there's so much to do, but I have to just go with the pace of life.
Yeah, no, I'm restless for that too. That's gonna be good. So stay tuned. Coming announcement.
It's exciting, and you'll see why I'm restless.
Yes. All right. So my last one is actually it's more a reflection of something that I got into during a period of time when I was really restless. So in 2020, when everything was cuckoo bananas, I got really into crystals and I still have a big collection. I shouldn't say it happened in 2020. I was the kid who was always collecting weird rocks from the playground. You know, my grandpa, when I was like 4 years old, came to Texas and he made me a museum out of like rocks. And it's like, it's just a big part of like my life. But this is my black tourmaline. And this is really good for like basically soaking up negative energy. And so this was one of my first ones that I got. And then I got this lepidolite, which is meant to be like a very calming stone, which I love this one. And of course, there's like rock history to these things, which I could bore you with. But at the
How
end
do
of the
you?
day, I mean, they're just
How
things
does
that
it?
I love.
How does the energy transfuse? Do you like suck on them like throat lozenges?
No, definitely
I'm
not. Ew, no.
joking.
No, 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 just being around them, looking at them, holding them, interacting with them. Although there are some crystals that you really shouldn't hold too much because they like have a dust that's not good for you to inhale, or they might be slightly radioactive depending. But the whole reason I bring my crystal collection and this is the whole shebang.
Oh,
My
it's
whole
pretty.
my crystals. I love
How much
them.
money is in that little jar?
Not too much money.
Too
I'm going to
much
show
money.
you my most expensive one, and it's also probably the smallest one of the smallest ones. And why I bring it up, because this right here, can you see it?
Yeah, is that like an emerald?
No, it's called Moldavite. And in 2020, there was a big social media, like it went viral. Moldavite went viral. And the reason why it went viral was because of its qualities. It's the glass that came from an asteroid impact that happened millions of years ago. So there's not a lot of it, which is why it's so expensive and so small. But Moldavite is supposed to be the crystal that basically will rapidly change your life. And by rapidly change your life, it means like it's going to remove things that aren't meant for you and it's going to basically clean house. And in 2020, this little stone had a viral moment. And still to this day, if you go on TikTok and put in Moldavite, you'll find people who are like, I lost it all. But here I am 3 years later, so much better because of my Moldavite. So
Funny.
I was influenced partially because it's cool. It's glass from an asteroid. Like, it's cool. I just
Yeah.
love it. But I was at a period of time in 2020 where there was a lot happening for all of us. And I was in the process of writing my first book. I was pregnant again. I had a new baby. I had a bunch of things going on that were good things, but I felt very restless to get to a place of stability. So I bought this piece from a local store. They used to have it up here in Liberty Township. It's unfortunately gone out of business. A lot of my collection is from them. I did not keep them in business though, but they had a great loyalty program, so I appreciate them. But this stone in particular, a lot of people will wear it as like jewelry. It's a little intense for me, so I just put it off to the side in this thing. And I will say, life has changed a lot. There's been a lot of stuff. And I do feel like coming out of this summer, I have done over the last couple of years some really intentional cleansing of people and things in my life that were really bringing me down. I don't know that the Moldavites to thank for that, but it was a purchase I made when I was feeling very restless. And I know there's a lot of social media kind of buzz around this stone and people who are feeling like restless, like it's time for a change. I need to transition. I need something big. But one interesting thing about Moldavite is they say that if it's not for you, you will lose the stone, the jewelry piece will break, it will release itself from you. But yeah, that's my crystal collection.
That's awesome.
And
I'm gonna have to get Moldavite.